Hi everyone, my name is Søren, the Power-Ups Viking. Today we're going to be working with creating tables in Dataverse for our model-driven app on the Power Platform. So the first thing we're going to do is carry on from where we left last, is in our Power Apps environment. So we're logged into the correct environment, and we'll go into the solution we created the last time. We have our Power-Ups Viking solution here, we'll go into that. And from here we want to create a new table for the solution that we can use in our app. Now, in this app, I want to create two tables. I want to have an overview of the ships I'm currently either building or that I have, and I also want to have an overview of the trips I've taken with these ships. So first, we need to start off by creating the ship table. So I'll go into New Table. And then I'm going to select just a table instead of creating it from an existing dataset. We're going to create our own new dataset for this specific example. So here we'll write the name of the table, and this is for my ships. So I'm writing this in the singular name because we have the plural name filled out automatically when we type in ship. We have ships here, and we don't need to type in anything else. Click on Save, and now the table is automatically being created, and a lot of standard columns, relationships, forms, and views are being created as well. Now we want to create some of our own custom columns here as well. We'll do that by going here into Columns under the schema, and then we create our new column by clicking here, New Column. And we want to keep a track of, for example, when we started building this ship. So we'll put in a start date. Under data type, instead of selecting this as a text field, I want to create a date field. And under date and time, I can select that I want this to be a date-only field, since it doesn't really matter what time of day I started building this ship. I only want the start and end date specifically. So I'll go ahead and click Save. And I also want to create another column for the end date for when this ship was built. I'll select date only as well for this. Click on Save. I also want to be able to recognize which type of ship this is. So for that I need a drop down, or what's called a choice field. So this is the ship type, and under the data type I will select a choice field, and here I can either select an existing choice field, or I can create a new choice field. So what I'm going to do is create a new choice field by clicking on New Choice. Also name this ship type, and then I need to fill out some different ship types here. And save the choice field. So now the choice field, which can be used by any other field as well, also another table. Now this is saved, and now I can sync the choice field I'm creating on the ship table. I can choose that I will synchronize this with the new field that I made. So I'll go ahead and find this. I could also start typing the first letter, and it's going to filter that. So now I've selected the ship type choice field. I'll go ahead and save this. And then I also want to create a field where I can keep track of how many crew members a ship can have. So I'm going to create the last column here. And this is of course a number field. So I'll select that and click Save. Now I want to create a new table to keep track of how many trips I've taken with each ship. So I'll go back to the overview of my solution here. Click on New again, click on Table, and type in trip. Again, the plural name is filled out automatically. Go ahead and save this table. And now for each trip, I want to be able to register which ship was used for this trip. So I'll go in here to Columns. I'll add a new column, and I'll call this ship. And under data type, I'm going to select a lookup, because now I'm going to be able to select the ship from the ship table here. So I select lookup, And the related table now is the ship table. I can search for that and select it here and click Save. So what this does now is this creates a relationship between the ship and the trip table, and exactly how that's going to look we're going to cover in the third video, where we look at the forms for when we're working with our app and how these columns operate. So, but now we've basically created the two tables, our ship table and our trip table. We've created a relationship between them, and we've created some columns here that we can of different data types here on the tables that we can work with. Let's just look again at this relationship, exactly how that looks. So what I created was a one-to-many relationship between the trip and the ship table. If we go into relationships under either trip or ships, we will be able to find this. So let's look at it here under trip. So from the trip table to the ship table, it is a many-to-one. There's many trips for each single ship, and I can also see this here. That ship is under as listed as a many-to-one relationship. If I look at it from the ship table, it will be the other way around. Man, I said trip and ship many times. So that was a quick intro to making new tables, working with tables in your model-driven app. We already have the user table that we added last time, and you saw the ability to use existing tables that were already in your Dataverse environment, and how you can just add single things from a single column, for example, that you want to change. But when you're creating an entirely new table, you're going to have every single of the elements from that table included in the solution in order to make sure that it works the way it should be. We also have here, there's also all the standard forms, views, charts, etc. that are added for each table when a table is created. As I mentioned, they're going to be added here. So just if we click here on forms and on views, we can see all these here are added in the solution. Already we don't need to add those ourselves because we created the table from new within the solution. Another thing to note is if we just go back to the overview, is that all these elements, of course, have the prefix from our publisher that we created in the first video as well. And we also have the choice field, which is a global choice field that we created that is now available for every single table. An example of this is if we go into the trip table here and we want to create a new choice field under column, create a new column. So this is a test column, and we select the choice field. Then the ship type choice is going to be available here as well, since it's a global choice field that's available from every single table you have. We'll just go ahead and cancel this, so we don't need to create a ship type field actually on the trip table. So that was a short introduction to creating new tables in Dataverse for your model-driven app. And join me for the next video, where we're going to be looking at creating forms and working with all those elements you can work on there. Bye.